Start. All right, boys and girls, welcome to our all-school Zoom room assembly. Yay! Look at all of these smiling faces. So, Miss Shema and Mrs. Hod are so happy that you guys are here with us today. And this is the first time for me to have two screens. And let me talk about what we're going to do. Oh, I see Casey says believe in yourself. And if you guys listen, we have a special friend with us today, Miss Shema and I from the program. And we're going to ask a really good friend of mine named Dr. Gail to help us today talk about some tips for school during during the pandemic, in school, remote school. Look at all of our friends who have joined us today. Amelia, Chloe, Dominic. Oh, this is so beautiful. And let me just check in with Dr. Gail. Dr. Gail, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, this is beautiful. All right, we'll get started with our program. So here's what we'll do. Super scholars and Possum partners, we're going to get to talk and chat and see how everyone is doing and check in on our wellness today, okay? And we're going to ask some questions, and then if we have some time, we will close with our positive action theme song. So let's get started. Here we go. All right. From the Morgan County Partnership this morning with our hosts, boys and girls, hello. I am Mrs. Hot, and I'm the Positive Action. Hi, guys. Hi. Positive Action and Digital Media Facilitator. And you see, I'm joining you guys today from my remote studio here at my house on Hot Mountain in Morgan County, West Virginia. Today's Positive Action Assembly is called Inclusion and Curiosity, Positive Actions for Wellness with Dr. Gail. All right, Miss Shema, are you ready?
Hi, Super Scholars. Are you ready? Can you say with me, it's time for positive actions in Spanish? Let's say it all together. Ready?
Let's do it.
Hola. Es hora de acción positiva. Good job, Super Scholars. Hi,
That was great. The Morgan County Partnership joins you weekly, guys, for an exciting look on positive programs on positivevaluesnetwork.com. We have value lessons that feature empathy, core values, health, and family wellness from our homes, our schools, our community, and around the world.
Whether you are 2 or 92, each new partnership positive podcast will feature fun and exciting information to help you manage and balance life here in Morgan County to West Virginia and beyond.
Awesome. Thanks, Miss Shema. So, Super Scholars, we're ready today to talk about a new value word that help us build a strong community, families, and help each other get through another day. And we've had lots of changes, haven't we, Possum partners? Yeah, I know, right?
Like our town is getting infected by the new virus.
You're right. I heard about that too. Thank you for telling us about it. And we wanted to talk with you guys today about that and see how you're feeling and how you're doing and see if you need any help. Because when we stick together, you know what? We can get through anything, right, Possum partners?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get started. Today, our Zoom room assembly is called Inclusion and Curiosity, Positive Actions for Wellness with Dr. Gail. Thanks for listening, everyone. And remember this, okay? You can also find us on the Positive Action YouTube channel on Fridays if you want to watch the Zoom today, okay? So if somebody missed it and is not home right now, you can check it out on Friday too. Right, Miss Shade? Oh, we have a special guest. Ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Mrs. Hud, who is our special guest?
All right, Possum partners, let me tell you more. We've been talking about some role models every day on the Positive Podcast. And today we have a real special friend, and a role model is someone who has good advice for us and who's a good example to follow. And today, boys and girls, I am so happy for you to meet a really good friend of mine. Her name is Dr. Gail Shade, and she is a role model. Dr. Gail, can you say hi?
Hello.
Everybody.
What wonderful smiling faces today. Talk about positive. That's positive.
Yes, it is. It is beautiful. It's going to make me cry, Dr. Gail. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Dr. Gail, could you take a sec and share with our Possum partners a little bit about yourself and what you do in our community?
Sure. Well, the kids call me Miss Gail or Dr. Gail, and I'm a therapist or a counselor, and I've been helping lots of kids and their families get through the pandemic. And I know most of you, all of you know, that's why most of you that are normally in school aren't in school. So I do a lot of things, but this has been an exceptional year for me because I've been trying to help kids just like you and families get through this time and all of the changes. So I've been here for a really, really long time. And you know what's really cool about all this is I grew up right here in Berkeley Springs with Mrs. Hott. And we were, I think, first and second, kindergarten, first, second, and third graders all the way up to high school here, weren't we, Mrs. Hott?
Yes, exactly.
So it's really great to be here and be able to give back to our community in a positive way.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Gail. Thanks so much. And I'm so happy for you, Dr. Gail, to meet all of our smiling friends from our Positive Actions program. The Morgan County Partnership, it's really beautiful, and I'm blessed to get to like provide value content for these little guys. And Shema and I, we have some fun, don't we, Possum Partners? And we know this is a different time. When Dr. Gail and I were at Widmeyer and going through school here, we didn't have a pandemic, did we, Dr. Gail?
No, at all. Nothing like this ever in our lifetime.
So this is new for us too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So guys, we're gonna do this together, and we're gonna work together and let each other know that we care about you. And we love you guys so much, and we want you guys to be healthy. Oh, I see a fireman puppet in there. That is so cute. Awesome.
I got this puppet. My mom ordered this puppet for me because I like puppets so much, and I'm a fan of Perry.
Oh, you are Perry, right? Well, when I saw your puppet, Casey, I was going to ask you if you've met Perry. Casey, can you tell Dr. Gail about Perry, the positive puppet?
Well, he's almost on every video. Like, he started getting on the videos about at this time. Like, I keep watching them because they're so fun to watch. Yeah, because, like, you know why they're so fun to watch?
Why?
Because when my parents don't know, they're over, like, at the desk, like, at their work desk, and I'm over the counter watching these videos and writing down these positive action words. Because I have Alexa down there. Like, I'm starting to talk to her and ask her how to say stuff in Spanish. And one time I asked her how to say Spider-Man in Spanish, and it sounded like "oh baby onion."
Oh wow, Casey, that is so awesome. Well, you know what? We're really excited you're watching Positive Perry. And Dr. Gail, you should see Positive Perry. He has some great value words we talk about. And he can make it, you know what? He's magic too. Positive Perry can be in my studio and in Miss Shema's studio. It's pretty cool. All right. Well, you know what? Here's what we want you to do. We have some questions for Dr. Gail, and we want to know if you guys have some questions too. So you guys start thinking about what you might want to ask Dr. Gail, because she's a beautiful therapist who has lots of advice for wellness tips. Okay? And we'll get started. We want to ask you, Dr. Gail, today about wellness tips that can help us manage all of the changes in school this year. And how can we balance our new school year with the increased remote learning and when we're not getting to see each other in the classroom, sometimes at home, Dr. Gail, I feel kind of isolated and sometimes maybe lonely. Do any of you guys, if you guys ever feel lonely, can you raise your hand? Sometimes it's lonely staying home. Yeah, look at that. But there are some positive actions we can do to help us when we feel alone. And that's what we want to ask you, Dr. Gail. How can you help us when we're at home and sometimes feel like that? What positive actions do you think will help us feel better?
Well, I think all of us have felt isolated, and I think we all know what that word means, that we feel alone because we can't get to school until this week. I understand, well, actually last week maybe, some of you guys went back to school on certain days. Am I right about that, Mrs. Hott?
That's right, Miss Gail.
Went back to school, and so hopefully that's going to help a lot. But one of the biggest complaints I hear from my kids is that they're so sad because they can't see their friends and they miss that. They miss their teachers. And one of the things that kids are really telling me they miss are hugs. And I don't know about you guys, but I miss those hugs too, okay? So we've really had to change up how we do things. And look at us today. We're seeing all of you guys in your home. And you know what we can do? I've been telling my kids here at the office that come in to see me, take the time to visit with your friends on a video chat. Because guess what you can do? When I look at the pictures here, I can see some of your bedrooms and I can see what's important to you maybe and what's special to you. And so it really helps you to get to know some of the kids that you only know from going to school or sitting beside them in a classroom. So one of the things I think has helped is to stay connected. And the internet can be very helpful for that. So that's one of the things that I suggest. The other thing I'd like to suggest to all of you, because I think I'm talking to a younger group today, one of the things kids say to me is, Miss Gail, I just can't keep up with this crazy schedule. I don't know whether the governor's going to send us back to school tomorrow or if we're going to be remote. So this is something that I recommended to all my parents and kids. Because this is just a blank calendar, okay? But you can have a calendar that you have at home. But this one, your parents can print off, or maybe even Mrs. Hott can send out a template that you could print out. But it's very easy. But you can decorate it yourself. You can make it, the month of February is coming up in just a few days. And so you can decorate this, you can make it the day, you can make it February. So what you can do with the help of your parents is you may want to use a pencil because we're forever changing. But you can mark the days that you're going to go to school and that you're going to be remote, okay? And that's very helpful because some of us like to know what to expect. Right, Mrs. Hott? Right,
that's
Ms.
right.
Shema? We like to know what to expect. And if we can plan, we feel better. So that idea helps a lot of my kids. And it gives you something creative to do, is to decorate it in whatever way that you want. And guess where you can put this? Maybe on the refrigerator that I'm sure you go to at least 10 times a day, okay? Or on your bedroom door, or someplace that it's okay for that your parents say you can put it up. But this will help you know what to expect. The other tip I can tell you guys is to go to bed when Mama and Daddy tell you to go to bed. Because even though you may not have to get up to go to school the next day, sleep is very, very, very important. And you still need to get up and be fresh in the morning to be able to do things like this, to zoom in and have good attention and be able to do what's expected of you, whether it's to do your schoolwork. And I always recommend that you do your schoolwork before you play and you take some breaks, okay? And so those are some things that I think you can do. And also, and I think we'll probably talk a little bit more about this as we go, is that when you're feeling certain ways and you don't understand what you're feeling, that you talk to somebody that you care about, or you talk to Mrs. Hott or Miss Shema. you do whatever you need to do to let people know how you're feeling, because you know what? You're not alone. Not alone. Lots of kids out there all over the world, not just in little old Berkeley Springs, are feeling just the way you guys are.
That's right, Dr. Gail. Those are some great ideas. And Miss Shema and I was taking notes about the calendar and about staying connected and getting to see each other. And you know what? One thing, this is going to sound really strange, Possum Partners, but I never would have, like Dr. Gail said, we can see your homes and your smiling faces and things that where you live. And I never would have had that opportunity if we weren't meeting virtually like that. I didn't think about that. Thanks for sharing that with us. Now, just on a housekeeping note, Possum Partners, so we can hear Dr. Gail, I did mute you guys. So if you have something to say, you have to unmute or raise your hand so I know where to unmute. And sorry, Dr. Gail, I accidentally muted you, but we're back now.
No problem.
Mrs. Hott is learning technology as we go. That's another thing with the pandemic. I'm learning new things. I'm curious about technology. Well, guys, those are some great tips. I have another question, Dr. Gail. So what about, our teachers give us work to do at home and homework packets, and are there ways? The calendar's a really good exercise, but what if we have a hard time learning on the computer, and I have a hard time getting focused sometimes, and you know what, sometimes that can escalate at home when parents get frustrated and I know maybe moms and dads might be frustrated having school at home a lot this year. Do you have any ideas or wellness tips to help us not have any conflict or fights about trying to get all of our work done? Because it's difficult. Are any of you guys having a hard time getting your work done? And sometimes, yeah. Are any of your guys' families frustrated with having to do schoolwork? Yeah, I know, right? So how can we balance that, Dr. Gail? Because I sometimes at my house when my boys have work and I'm like, no, you can't watch that movie, Levi. You have to do your homework first. He gets mad at me.
Right.
So what should we do?
Well, that is probably the most common complaint that I have in the office. And I feel like I'm a referee most of the time, trying to help families find a way to balance that. And every family's different. But you know what? If your parents are fussing and yelling, they're probably normal. So, but there's healthy ways and there's not so healthy ways. There's good ways to get what you need done. And sometimes families find themselves yelling at one another, and that's something that's not good. So one of the things I try to help kids do is kind of compromise, because everybody's in a really tough spot. Mommy and daddy may be at their computer trying to work from home, and you've got a question about your work and you can't get any help and you're frustrated and you have to stop. And so what I want you guys to think about is think about how when you go to school in the morning, you have a schedule, right? Can you guys nod and tell me, yes, you have a schedule? You get to school at a certain time, you go to the bathroom for breaks, you have reading and science and math and all those things at different times. Okay, well, that's kind of what you need to do at home. I want you to think about something. When you were babies, your mommies and daddies had you on a schedule. You got up, you ate, you went back to sleep, you woke up, you went back to sleep, you ate, okay? And you know why we have schedules? Because they're good for us, they're healthy for us. So having a good plan of getting up in the morning and know what you're gonna do first. And every teacher's a little different in how they handle your work, especially for you young guys in kindergarten, first, second grade. And so what I try to help parents do is understand how much time you are going to be able to sit there and focus. Like right now, some of you are having a really tough time listening to me, right? Yes, I'm talking too much, aren't I? Okay. So what you have to do is your parents have to work with you and find out, can you focus for 15 minutes? Can you focus for 20 minutes? So I use a timer. I have parents use a timer. Set the timer on the microwave, set the timer on your phone, because I know every one of you have a cell phone, right? You guys have a cell phone?
I don't have a cell phone. I'm way too young to have a cell phone.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
Dr.
That
Gail.
is music to
I
my
have an iPad on
ears.
Siri.
I agree with you. Okay, but you all have a microwave, right? And a lot of you
Yeah.
guys, if you don't have a desk in your room, you're sitting at the kitchen table, right? Mommy and daddy can set the timer on the microwave, and you work until the timer goes off. And you know what? You got to plan fun things through your day, but we got to get our work done before we play. And so I work with parents on setting up a plan. If you get your work done, then you can earn some playtime. And that's a fun time, just like recess.
You know what?
At home.
That sounds like the school day, but at home. And that's a great idea, Dr. Gail. So at home, you guys can schedule recess. That sounds like fun. And then make a time to play. When you said the timer, you know what? I remember I used to do that for Violet and Katie. I would put the timer on the microwave and say, well, here's 10 minutes. And then after this is done, you can do something else. That was kind of cool. I also used it, Dr. Gail, when they were arguing. I said, all right, here's a break time and let's all take a chill. And I would set my timer on the microwave.
There you go.
Cool. There you go, parents.
Hello?
Parents, if you're listening, Dr. Gail had a really good tip. Use that device in your kitchen. Set those timers.
Hello? Hello.
Breaks, recess, and time for class and worksheets. Now, I have another question for you, okay? Dr. Gail, those are some great tips on how to get our work done and how to balance when we're home, because there are lots of distractions at home, okay? The next question, Dr. Gail, what if I feel sad? I just don't want to do my work, I'm sad. What do you have any tips for what we should do when we feel sad?
Well, lots of kids and lots of big people are feeling sad. There's a lot more sadness in the world today, and that's what I really like about this program, because you have to look for the positives sometimes. And so what I try to help people do is focus on the good things in their life, okay? So when you're sad, the first thing you need to do is tell us that you're sad. And you know what? Kids don't always tell us that they're sad. We can tell you're sad from the way you act, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you're whining a lot more, or you're crying a lot more, or your behaviors aren't so wonderful, and parents are yelling a little bit more. And you know what? I've had some kids in here that have just said, I'm just so sad. I'm tired of being fussed at and yelled at by my parents to get my work done. I'm tired of being nagged at.
Hello.
I'm tired of all of that. And so I think you have to build in fun into your day. And one of the things I've been challenging parents to do is to have some family meetings, to include everyone in a family meeting and listen to what everybody is feeling. And you know what? You guys have to listen to about how mom and dad are feeling, because they may yell and fuss because they're frustrated. So they need to use the words, hey, I'm frustrated, okay? And say, I'm sad because I miss my friends, or I miss being at school, or I'm tired of sitting in front of this computer. It makes me sad. But you can also, with the help of your parents, talk about the good things in your life and the positive things, because they're all there. This is just one snapshot of your life. And I know it's a big one, but there are lots of things that we can be thankful for and focus on positives, and you all have that. Some of your parents are working. That's a positive thing right now. And some parents aren't able to work because of the pandemic. So, and sometimes sadness comes from not understanding about the pandemic, or we might think of the pandemic as being this great big scary monster. And sometimes we just need somebody to explain that to us in our terms. And turn the TV off. Parents, get your little ones from away from the TV, because there's so much on there that's just overload. We adults know how we feel. So we definitely need to keep our kids away from the TV.
That's a great idea, Dr. Gail. I love how you said to recognize that, you know, it's okay to feel sad sometimes. And we've been talking about on Positive Action, the word inclusion. And when you ask someone and you let them know, hey, I'm feeling this way, you include them in your like trust circle, and then you have a chance to listen. And listening is a really good. We have talked about that too, the value of listening to how we all feel. And you know what? That starts right at home, boys and girls. And while we're home, it's a great time to practice listening and talking about how we're feeling. That's really beautiful. Dr. Gail, you're amazing. I'm really, yeah, thanks for all of the help today. I want to see if Shema and I've been writing down notes and things like that, all of your great wellness tips. And we'll let our classes know more for positive actions, the great things you've taught us today. I did see that Dominic had a question, and does anyone have a question for Dr. Gail? And I'll unmute you and we'll ask Dr. Gail a question. And then after that, before we go, boys and girls, Miss Shema and I are going to play our positive action theme song. So we'll see if you have any questions. If something happens with my internet, because I'm way up on the mountain, we'll play the song. But I see Dr. Gail Page. Paige wants to ask you something. Go ahead, Paige.
Hi, Paige.
Hi. So me and Groove have been thinking, and when did you start all of this stuff? Why did you want to do it?
Why did I want to be a counselor, a therapist? Oh, wow. Now you're going to test me. I decided when I was probably in high school that I wanted to help people, and I went on to college and got my education and all my degrees in fields where I could help, in a field where I could help people. And I love working with kids, and that's really been the focus of my career for almost 38 years. So I'm old.
Older than
Just like
me.
Mrs. Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit older.
Older.
A little bit.
On the last one, I had a question, but the video ended when I didn't really get to ask my question. But I forgive you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
That's positive.
That's positive. Forgiving is positive. Thank you,
yeah, you
Paige.
should forgive everyone.
Oh, okay. And up here, let's see. Another question. Anybody else have a question? Amelia? All right, Dr. Gail, this is Amelia with a question.
Hi, Amelia.
Trying to unmute you. There you go. Go ahead, Amelia.
Did you ever have someone with cancer before?
Did I ever talk to anyone who had cancer? Yes. Not. I can't remember a child, but I remember adults. Yes, ma'am, I have.
My grandma Terry had cancer, and her name was Terry.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. But yes, I have talked to people who have cancer, sweetie.
Thanks for sharing, Amelia. And if you ever want to talk about that, you can always reach out and connect. Connecting when you have questions about big words like cancer is a way to help, right? We have time for a couple more questions. Anyone? Here's Lusanne, Lucas, Lusanne. Let me unmute. Dr. Gail, this is Lusanne. Are you there? There you go. Go ahead and unmute. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Joshua and Lila are in my classroom today.
Oh, this is Miss Lucas.
Oh, hi. Hi, Lisa and Lucas.
Hi, Miss Lucas is there. Okay. Oh, I see your babies. And this is Dr. Gail.
Okay, real quick.
Have you ever taught a kid that gets sad a lot?
I can't hear you, sweetie.
Neither can I. Have you ever taught a kid that gets sad a lot?
Have I ever seen kids who are sad? Is that your question? Oh, yes, sweetie. I've seen lots of kids who are sad for many, many, many different reasons. Yes, I have. Kids do get sad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. People are out there to help them. Not just me, but lots of people. Family, friends, teachers. principals, guidance counselors. There's lots of people out there that'll help.
Can Joshua answer a question? I mean, like, ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Joshua.
What kind of therapy do you use?
What kind of therapy do I use? Boy, that's a big question coming from you. Golly, Matt. Well, I use play therapy with kids. We draw, we make things, we use bibliotherapy. And that big word means we use books that talk about feelings and help you understand what's going on. We talk. So that's kind of what I do to get to know you and understand why maybe try to help you figure out why you'd be feeling sad if you came into my office or mad. Hey, we didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about how this pandemic makes everybody mad.
Yeah.
A lot of mad people out there.
And
that's
those,
okay too.
Right. That's right, Dr. Gail. Those feelings all go together, don't they?
They sure do.
And we really appreciate your help balancing them all out. Wow, you guys had some great questions.
Yeah,
now,
thank you guys.
Now, before you go, if you have any more questions, anybody can email Positive Actions, Mrs. Hott, and we'll get you our email. I know your teachers have it. It's on positivevaluesnetwork.com, okay? And we want to let you guys know some fun things coming up in February. We have Little Leaders. Every day you're going to hear a new story about Black women in history. So stay tuned for that. And next week, we're going to talk about a great value, creativity. And you're going to meet a musician named Jonathan from Black Cat. So be sure to join us for that. And, you know, we're going to close with something. Dr. Gail said play therapy is something fun. So, Miss Shema, are you ready?
Yes.
We're going to end with a song. And we want you guys to all, where you are at your monitor, if you stand up and get ready to wiggle a little bit. And let's do the Positive Action song. And we're going to close with that. And as we close, we're going to sing and dance this song. Dr. Gail, you might not know this song, but watch us do our Positive Action theme song, okay?
I think I've seen it.
and
I
then
love
after
the
that,
dancing that you and Miss Shema do.
You guys ready to dance?
Positive action kid, that's what I am, that's how I live. I am a positive action kid, that's what I am, that's how I live. I smile, I help, I learn, I love, I hug, and I care. I am positively happy, and that is why I share. I have those positive feelings, like kindness, glad and strong. That's why I feel like I belong. I have those positive thoughts that help me think and dream and grow. I am positive, and that is how I know I am a positive action kid. That's what I am, that's how I live. I am a positive action kid. That's what I am, that's how I live. I am a positive action kid. That's what I am.